Now we're headed to a gallery called Flowers, and this is their New York outpost. They're kind of based in London. And I think the thing to do in this show is to walk inside and check out the work, because nothing I tell you is going to prepare you for the physical experience of seeing this. Nobody's falling down yet. This one actually is, yeah. See, I'm too close to this one for some reason right now. Oh no, there it is. There it goes. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So this artist actually had a monograph, or a nice, big juicy publication made a few years ago, and he has an essay in there by Don Aids, a historian who I remember reading in college, who writes about surrealism. So he's kind of anchoring himself, or has been identified with the idea of surrealism. So the idea is something he called reverspective. So this idea of reverspective is that, obviously he's reversed, the usual painting because it's coming out at us. So in each case, you walk in, it looks flat, and it's tricking your eye in that way. And your body is moving. So, what he's working with is proprioception, which involves stimuli that come from inside of you. So you're moving, so you're moving, but the painting suggests that you're not. And so there's this contradiction, and you kind of think, okay, well, it's the painting that's moving. And so he exploits that. And like I say, has been doing this for quite a while. And eventually, has become, I think, more acknowledged for this. But in his past show and this show, he looks at a lot of visual art, or that's his subject matter. So I think he's kind of connecting himself with this history of illusion or trompe-l'oeil, fooling the eye.
Did you refer to him as the outsider? Is that what I heard?
Yeah. He's talked about how he wasn't really embraced at the beginning of his career. Because, if he was doing representational art in the 60s, that wasn't going to be, that wasn't the avant-garde, Maybe, I think, it's certainly in the States, abstraction was still dominant. And in the 60s, people are starting to make video. You get pop art, Andy Warhol's first show in 1962, performance starting in the late 50s. So you've got this decade of incredible innovation. And so if you're a representational painter, you're not at the forefront now. Everybody wishes they had an Alex Katz or a Chuck Close, or these people who continue to paint.
The thing of respecting the two-dimensionality of the canvas came out of the 50s, the flatness. And so it kind of
the whole Clement Greenberg kind of idea of what can you do with.
Created so much different offshoots of all.
Yeah. So he sort of situates himself maybe in art history by showing us images of art, but also this is the Barnes collection in Philadelphia. So he's done that before, kind of made images of collections in Switzerland. I remember there was one over there in the last show. But this is the Barnes collection in Philadelphia, which was in the news a lot because it was supposed to stay put and stay as it was, but they wanted to move the museum into the center of Philadelphia. And so that kind of was in court, that whole decision was debated in court for a long time. Now it's in a new location. He also focuses on Venice, and I was reading an interview with him where he said he actually doesn't like Venice. He finds it a cliche and a little bit oppressive. You walk through the narrow streets, it's like, am I going to get out of here? But the buildings are the same size, more or less, so that suits his purpose.